Welcome back to the second day of the curriculum mapping process here at Delano Public Schools. We were just talking about and finished up the conversation about why we were commissioned to do this and some of the future discussions that we'll be having once we have a completed curriculum map. The next topic then would be, so what is it again that we're going to be doing, Joe? Remember, our big picture here is that for every subject taught pre-K-12 that we're going to have a curriculum map. We want that curriculum map to be in a common format. The common format, and I've talked with a couple different groups, there might be some slight variations in that. But for the most part, it's going to look like having these 8 columns across the top. Once again, these 8 columns, are going to be what we're focusing on for this year. So we want to have some conversations about a time frame. The time frame can be anywhere, you might say something like 2 weeks. You might say something about 4 days, something like that. And then also a little bit of when you're going to be covering the topics and sections. All right. So the time frame, might be 2 weeks in September, something like that. So we have some information about that. And then the what are we teaching is the next 2 columns. That's the meat and potatoes, and how that relates to our standards, which are the next 3 columns. The 7th and 8th columns are where are we in the levels of blooms, and what is the student learning target. So this talks about the depth of understanding and the depth of our question asking, and this talks about those I can statements. Before we conclude, I just wanted to make sure that I gave you some feedback regarding the survey after the August Professional Development Day. There was many people who responded to the survey, so I thank you for that. We just want to make sure that you understand that your feedback is valuable. We did take a look at some of your suggestions in the area of training for Google Docs, so we offered a class and 30 to 40 of you were trained in that. We did pay attention to some of the technology issues that came up, so that's part of the reason that you're in your own buildings today, so that we can alleviate some of the stress on the infrastructure and have things hopefully a little bit more productive today. And then your questions with the mapping issues. And I've been working with many of the facilitators and other people who have been asking questions over the last couple of months since August. So hopefully we've got a good structure in place for you today to have this be a very productive day. That being said, also, after today, I'll be sending out another survey just to get some continued feedback so that we can continue to improve the process for everybody involved. So again, your feedback is very valuable to us. Today's goal then, we would like, at our last facilitators meeting, which was last week, we talked about what would be a reasonable amount of information to be cataloged, if you will, after working for almost 3 hours today. And so today's goal is going to have a quarter to a half of 1 year's worth of curriculum be mapped out by each teacher. So you're going to get in there, you're going to start working on a map and look at a quarter to a half of your year's worth of curriculum being mapped out today. That's going to be our goal. Once again, just to review our learning target, that you understand why we are completing these curriculum maps. We've been commissioned by the strategic planning process. Know what you need to do, so you have to complete those first 8 columns with about a quarter to a half a year's worth of curriculum by today's end. And that the goal of the process, once again, is for those future conversations. And the planning at this point in time is certainly to be using these in the future. That pretty much concludes today's presentation. We want to make sure that, again, everybody gets the same pieces of information and that you move forward and have a great, successful day today. Have a great day. Thanks.